New developments in the high-profile gold smuggling case involving actress Ranya Rao has come to light. Investigators have uncovered the smuggled gold was transported in a government vehicle, completely bypassing security checks. As per protocol, high-rank officials are provided with two vehicles. One is for the official vehicle which the officers use for everyday work. The second vehicle is a spare vehicle which is used by the family members of the officer. Ranya's father, Ramachandra Rao, too has confessed to the fact that his spare vehicle has often used for picking up and dropping Ranya Rao. Investigators have now discovered that the actress Ranya Rao frequently used the same vehicle to travel to the airport, raising suspicions that she may have smuggled gold multiple times without detection. I'm joined in by my colleague Vajiola. Vajiola, this particular revelation about the spare vehicle being used is interesting because this also speaks about how, in certain ways, the protocol was in fact violated.
Absolutely, Varghese. These are shocking information that we have got right now with regards to the vehicle that was used. What one understands is that high-rank officials who are at the rank of DGP, IG, they are given two vehicles. One is their professional vehicle, which is used for their commute. But the other vehicle is a spare vehicle that is provided to the family members of the officers. And that was the vehicle which was used by Ranya Rao time and again. And we've also been told that the father, the DGP Ramchandra, also used to advise, give the vehicle, and has also accepted the fact that the vehicle was used. Now, these details that have come out gives us a picture of the fact that Rania used to misuse the vehicles of the police officers to do her smuggling activities. In this latest information that we've got, apart from that, we've also learned that there are other shocking details that have come out with regards to the letter that she had written to the DRI ADGP from the help with the help of the prison department, and those details are equally shocking for this.
Shocking, but at the same time, now there will be investigations looking into this particular car that is being used. So, are the investigators now going to track, because most of these cars will have to in fact register at the airport, so they'll be trying to track the days on which these cars have been used?
Well, yes, now the police will be investigating and finding out the history of the vehicle that was used time and again, because these vehicles do get registered by the police on the movement of it, and that is something that they will also keep a check on. It is only in the investigation that we'll get to know how many times did she use this vehicle. From what we know so far is that close to 27 times she's traveled in the last 1 year, and in the last 15 days, 4 times she's traveled to Dubai. Was this vehicle used at that point of time? Was it not? We have got other details also where we've been told that she used to drop it inside an auto and the auto driver used to take it forward. That auto that was she using this vehicle to meet the auto driver. All these details are something that we will get to know in the coming days. And these details are cropping in one by one as in and the information is coming. We are giving it out to our viewers with regards to Ranya Rao's case. And this is one of the most shocking details that we've got, that a police vehicle was used time and again for commuting for Ranya Rao, whether it was used for smuggling activities, was it always used for smuggling activities? These are a few details we are awaiting.
Also, stay with us, Vajiola. Let's in fact get you more details. Meanwhile, Rania has in fact alleged custodial torture in a petition submitted to the prison authorities. She claims she was physically assaulted by police officers while in custody and was denied basic necessities including food and sleep during her time in custody. Investigators are now scrutinizing the letter that has in fact been given as well. This is the letter that she has claimed. She has in fact said that she was in fact slapped for about 10 to 15 times. Vajula, one big question that was in fact raised was whether she was slapped, and then in the letter she says that she was coerced into signing 60 to 70 pages of documents. She initially refused, and there was threat being given that her father's name would be exposed. This particular letter in fact showcases the other side of the story, where Rania says that she was in fact subjected to some kind of torture.
Well, as during the court hearing, Rania had expressed this to the judge, saying that yes, there were verbal abuses that were hurled against her. She was forced to sign various documents which she was not ready to sign. And she had also complained about this to the DRI officials, and they had not paid any heed to it. And that's why, in front of the court, she had expressed this. And this letter that we are showing to our viewers is of 6th of March. So we have to understand that she was arrested on the 3rd. The 4th, she was placed before the court. And after that, she was given a custody. And on the 6th, she's written the letter where she was again taken to the court the next day for further extension of the custody, of the DRI custody. At that time, she had expressed the information which had we had timely given to our viewers. But this letter is one of those exceptional documents that we've got in our hand, which indicates that what we had broken that day of torture that Ranya Rao had expressed to the judge was something that she had already written to the ADG at that point of time with the help of the Prison Department. And this letter clearly incriminates the fact that what she has written, that she was physically abused, she was slapped so many times, she was asked to sign various documents which she resisted, and then eventually she was forced to sign close to 10 to 50 documents, and she was time and again blackmailed with the fact that if she does not sign these documents, her father would also be implicated. They would drag his name. So all these blackmail activities which was used allegedly by the DRI is what she had expressed in this particular letter which we have our access sample.
Well, also, Ranya has said that alleged, speaking about custodial torture in the petition she had submitted to the prison authority, she in fact claimed that even food and sleep was in fact not given to her as such. Meanwhile, investigators are now scrutinizing airport protocol staff and past security lapses that may have facilitated the crime. A probe team led by IAS officer Gaurav Gupta has in fact issued notices to multiple airport protocol staff members as well. Reports reveal that Ranya Rao travelled abroad more than 25 times in a single year, raising serious concerns over whether security checks were bypassed. Investigators are also probing whether any officials were instructed not to inspect her baggage. However, security officials have clarified that no passenger, regardless of status, can leave the airport without undergoing immigration, customs and security checks. Meanwhile, Karnataka Home Minister G. Parmeshwara has weighed in on the case. He confirmed that a special committee has been formed to investigate the matter. Initially handled by the CID, the police which was in fact looking into it. The case was transferred to the DPIAR due to the involvement of the senior DGP. Now, the minister also dismissed BJP's allegations of political involvement, stating that the government will act based on the investigation report. Authorities are also closely examining Ranya Rao's financial transactions. Investigators found no major banking activity in her accounts 2 years ago. However, a significant deposit of 20 lakh was made on October 22nd, 2024, triggering a series of transactions involving crores of rupees. Well, my colleague Waji was in fact giving a complete idea of how this entire aspect of the investigation was heading to. The Trump administration has revoked the visa of an Indian scholar, Ranjani Srinivasan, for participating in pro-Palestinian protests at United States Columbia University, according to the Department of Homeland Security. The Indian citizen self-deported after participating in pro-Palestinian protests. Ranjani Srinivasan's visa was suspended last week. The Department of Homeland Security has reportedly released a video of Ranjani Srinivasan as she was seen leaving at the airport. So who is Ranjani Srinivasan and what are the charges that have been brought against her? Ranjani Srinivasan, a citizen and national of India, entered the United States as an F1 student visa as a doctoral student in urban planning at Columbia University. Srinivasan is accused of being involved in activities supporting terrorist organization Hamas. The Department of State had revoked her visa on March 5th. The U.S. Justice Department is also investigating whether Columbia University concealed illegals on its campus. Trump administration has intensified its campaign to deport foreigners who participated in pro-Palestinian demonstrations at the school last year. Earlier, the U.S. government cancelled USD 400 million in federal grants and contracts to the school for not cracking down harder on students and faculty who criticized Israel's military action in Gaza during protests last year. Meanwhile, protests erupted in Columbia University on Friday as demonstrators demanded the release of student activist Mohammed Khalil. The student workers of Columbia held a rally in support of Khalil and Grant Minor, president of UA Local 2710 Student Workers Union of Colombia, whom the union said Colombia expelled for his involvement in pro-Palestinian protests that took place in the campus. This past weekend, federal immigration agents detained Khalil, a leader of the last year's campus protests, whom the Trump's administration seeks to deport. The administration has said that detention was the first of the many it hopes to carry out. Khalil's deportation has been temporarily blocked by a federal judge. Colombia was the epicenter of anti-Israel protests that hit several U.S. college campuses after the Hamas attack on Israel in October 2023 and subsequent U.S.-supported Israeli assault on Gaza. Protesters demanded that university endowments divest from Israeli interests and that the U.S. end military assistance to Israel, among other demands. The Trump administration has vowed a severe crackdown on what it labels as pro-Hamas protesters.
I'm out here because I'm horrified by what is happening to unions, to higher ed, to the weaponization of Judaism, to be used as some sort of excuse to crack down on civil liberties, and in particular on our Palestinian and Arab brothers and sisters. This is intolerable to me.
You know, I don't think they're calling for this, but really the whole campus should be shut down in protest because this is an outrage, and otherwise they're just going to keep going after everybody. So that's why we say hands off all protesters.
Meanwhile, NASA and SpaceX launched a long-awaited crew to the International Space Station that will let them bring home U.S. astronauts Butch, Wilmore and Sunita Williams, who has been stuck on the orbital lab for 9 months. SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket lifted off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, carrying 4 astronauts who will replace Wilmore and Williams, both of whom are veteran NASA astronauts and retired U.S. Navy test pilots, and were the first to fly Boeing's banned Starliner capsule to the ISS in June. But problems with Starliner's propulsion system during the flight forced an extension of their planned 8-day stay, as NASA deemed it too risky for them to fly home on the aircraft, which returned to Earth empty in September. Otherwise, a routine crew rotation flight of Friday's Crew 10 mission is also long-awaited a key step to bring the astronaut duo back to Earth. They are scheduled to depart the station on March 19th after Crew 10 astronauts arrived on Saturday night. The mission has become entangled in politics as President Donald Trump and his advisor Elon Musk, who is also SpaceX CEO, say without evidence that former President Joe Biden left the astronauts on the station for political reasons.
One, we're continuing to get good call-outs on the first stage performance so far.
On June 5th, Boeing Starliner carried its first 2 astronauts into space, a crucial test before the capsule could receive NASA approval for routine flights. But what has happened for the 8-day mission locked to the ISS had been drawn out by months after the capsule sprang leaks and some of its thrusters failed. The first test flight carrying crew had been delayed several times, but represented a milestone in the aerospace giant's ambition to step up the competition in Elon Musk's SpaceX. The CST-100 Starliner with astronaut Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore aboard lifted off from the Cape Canaveral in Florida, strapped on Atlas V rocket.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Go SpaceX. Go NASA Crew 10. Copy 1 Alpha.
And liftoff of Crew 10 now
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Space Station. One, we're continuing to get good call-outs on the first stage performance so far. We're now 40 seconds.
J.N. Baloch, spokesperson for the Baloch Liberation Army, a Baloch rebel organization, said in a statement that despite an ultimatum given to the Pakistani forces, they did not heed to it, resulting in the death of 214 hostages. The Baloch rebel organization claims that they have 48-hour ultimatum to Pakistan. Now, in a statement, the BLA said that, I quote, Baloch Liberation Army had given the Pakistani army a 48-hour ultimatum to exchange prisoners of war, which was the last chance for occupying army to save the lives of personnel. However, Pakistan, displaying its traditional stubbornness and military arrogance, not only avoided serious negotiations but also turned a blind eye to the ground realities. As a result of this stubbornness, all 214 hostages have been executed. The rebel organizations further claim that they have also acted as per the international law, but the stubbornness of Pakistan forced them to act thus. Amit Shah, Home Minister, is in Mizoram. Let's cut across live to the program that he's attending to. Let's listen to him.
टुईपंग नेशनल हाईवे 54 को डबल लेन करने का काम
सुबह का वैबे से सांग खत जरूर सेंगा आइजोल टुईपंग नेशनल हाईवे सोमंगा पली सियम न टूटे पोटेलनी डबल लेन
और मिजोरम में अनेक जगहों पर बांस के लिंक्स रोड 100 करोड़ की लागत से शुरू करने का काम
तेंबा का हियन मिजोरम पुन चंगा बेम्बू लिंक रोड वैबे से जा
5,000 करोड़ रुपया के रोड्स के काम ये 10 साल में भारत सरकार ने मिजोरम के लिए किए हैं
कुमसोम कल ताखान मिजोरम तान वैबे से सांगा चुवांग पोंग प्रोजेक्ट ते खनी तोनी
एयरवेज के में 10 हेलीपैड 2 करोड़ की लागत से हमने बनाए हैं
एयरवेज हियन हेलीपैड सोम वैबे से नी सेंगा सियामनी तोनी
5,000 करोड़ की लागत से बैराबी सैरांग रेलवे को हमने शुरू किया है
वैबे से सांगा सेंगिन बैराबी सैरांग रेल पोंगी सियलमेक कनी
600 करोड़ रुपीस की लागत से 164 बेड सुपर स्पेशलिटी अनुसंधान केंद्र रिसर्च सेंटर आज मिजोरम में बन रहा है
वैबे से सेंगिन कुमजा सम रुपली ओमना तो सुपर स्पेशलिटी रिसर्च सेंटर मिजोरम दिन में कनी
और 1,300 करोड़ की लागत से टूरिल हाइड्रो पावर परियोजना भी शुरू की गई
वैबे से सांखत जथुम सेंगिन टूरिल हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट पोखसिया मलोनी
और इसके अलावे 314 मोबाइल टावर लगाकर मिजोरम में
Bihar celebrated Holi with great enthusiasm, and former Minister Tej Pratap Yadav was also being drenched in festive colours. However, controversy erupted after Tej Pratap asked his security guard Deepak to dance to the song he was singing during Holi celebration at his residence. He even jokingly warned that if Deepak refused, he would have him suspended. His remark has sparked a political controversy, with the ruling JDU strongly criticising him. JDU national spokesperson Rajiv Ranjan slammed Tej Pratap, stating that Bihar has moved beyond the Jungle Raj era and such behavior has no place in the new Bihar. Well, that's all in this edition of the Bulletin.